The internet has had a profound effect on the newspaper business, not only in terms of news consumption, but also news production. The cell phone and broadband are the new tools that are empowering citizen journalism.
The UpTake is all about empowering normal citizens to use the tools that the mass media used to use only. It's when, as we've always defined, citizen journalism is when the audience suddenly has the tools that the mass media used to have and uses them. Anybody can go out and get a good camera that's going to cost just a couple $100. And as we always tell them, the most important thing you got to do is buy a microphone to go with it, because people talking without audio is pretty dull. Those are the main things. But what we've also found is the infrastructure of the internet, and particularly live video, is open and available to anybody. So suddenly, not only can you be the guy that has a camera, but you've got the satellite truck, and you can be live from anywhere in the world using, frankly, just an iPhone to report on what's going on. And so now it becomes, you've got all that power. What can you do with it? And what can you do with it responsibly, and making sure that what the story that you're telling is credible? Well, let me give you an example from our first big story that we did from the Republican National Convention. All of the networks were locked inside the Excel Center. I mean, there's literally a cage around the place. And so they couldn't go out at will and start covering what was going on around in the city. Protests were happening in the city, and there were clashes between protesters and police and violence. And we were able to report that just using a plain old cell phone, an iPhone. We had just discovered how to make video come out of these things. And so we were able to not only show stuff live as it was happening, that the other media didn't figure it out for about 2 days what was happening out there, but also we solved the problem of the police confiscating somebody's video on site, because the minute we shot this out of the camera, it was already on the server. There was no way they could take this back. And that just was a game changer to the police, because there was no way that they could sort of censor the news by delaying or detaining the journalists. They did try that in some cases, but by that point, the news was out there. People always think, oh, kids, hey, they understand this internet thing. Let's hire a kid to do this. The thing is, I found with citizen journalism, our most reliable volunteers are people who are over 50. People who, especially in a down economy right now, don't have something else to take up their time. But they care enough about things that they're willing to learn a whole new set of skills. I have not had problems teaching older people how to use the internet, live stream, cameras, all those types of things. When they have a desire to learn something, they will learn it. But the most important thing in all of this is understanding the principles that drive it. And the principles being that you got to have truth and you got to have fairness in what you're presenting. And that's going to build your credibility, and more people are going to share that out. So that's what I always tell people when they're trying to put together content. Be truthful, be fair, and also do it in a way that's interesting so people care about it. And then you're going to be really successful.
This is Guy Daniels for Connected States of America in Montevideo, Minnesota.
I remember when I was his age.
Yesterday I fell asleep and I dreamed about tomorrow until I woke up with a bump, and all at once she never came. Picture my surprise as I looked out through empty eyes upon a world.
It was 1969. Man had landed on the moon. We all huddled around a small radio to hear the first live transmission back from the lunar surface. It was incredible. Things have suddenly evolved. The sky used to be the limit. Nowadays, the whole world is at our fingertips. We are connected in ways that are hard to believe. I wonder what could hold them back in their future. guess only their imagination.
Roger that, module. Come landing. Copy that, roger, man.